Hello and welcome. Welcome to Fyne.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're here this afternoon in what would normally be FyneFest prep week to sit down and ask James Delap, the Fyne's MD, your questions. I'm Ian, by the way. I'm Fyne's marketing manager, and yeah, we're gonna get into it in a minute. But I feel like first we should probably acknowledge that this would be kind of a real hub of activity. This day. This is on a normal year.
Yeah, this is like normally ground zero of chaos, isn't it? This is everything is flying around by this stage in the week. Normally we'd see the track coming down the field behind us here. We'd like to see the big marquee up, and by this stage everyone's arriving on site to get stuck into the build. So this is normally the day it all really begins in earnest.
Yeah, so. We were saying as we were coming down here, like this, it's so surreal coming down here and there not being so activity going on. It's very, very strange, and obviously we wish everyone was here with us. Yeah.
Adrenaline levels should be through the roof at this point, shouldn't they? They should just be mild panic should be setting in really across the team.
And instead we're sitting in the field having a beer and talking rubbish.
Yeah, we should be worrying about whether the cellars are all set up, and whether all that beer is going to get loaded out of our cold room, and inevitably there would be an Italian pallet stuck somewhere that hasn't arrived on time, because Italian pallets never arrives on time.
But, so we do wish that everyone was here with us, but thank you for tuning in to FyneFest at home, and hopefully you're having fun with it so far. And we'll have you back next year, please remember.
Yes, exactly. Everyone's got to be here in the field with us next year. Well, in about three or 4 days' time.
Yes. But until then, this will have to do. So we're here to ask Jamie anything. We put it out on social media over the weekend and asked you for your questions for Jamie Delap, the Fyne's MD, and so we picked quite a few that we like, and we're going to get stuck into it. If you're ready.
I'm ready. I've got a beer and life is good.
Excellent.
And the sun is shining, so hey, that's also very un-FyneFest-like.
Yes.
We've got hot sunshine and a light breeze, so no midges. So this is perfect.
What are you talking about? There's never midges at FyneFest. We're going to start with a nice easy one. We had a couple of questions along these lines. One from Jamie Joe BT on Facebook, and one from @DCL244 on Twitter. Both of whom want to know which Fyne's beer is your favourite and which one you're most proud of.
Oh, I don't know. That's the question. Everyone wants to know what's your favourite, and you can't have a favourite child. So there aren't any favourites. Everything is like, what's the moment? Who are you drinking your beers with? What are you eating? What's your mood you're in? There are times when I want a big fat stout. There are times when I want a hazy IPA. But probably more than anything else, there comes a moment when it's YALL's what you need. And YALL's been. I probably have to be most proud of YALL because it's been our flagship beer now for 6 or 7 years, and it continues to do great things for us. So, probably if I was on a sinking ship and had to save one beer, probably YALL's going to be the one that you're going to save as the one. But I love them all equally. We wouldn't put a beer out if we weren't really proud of it. Yeah, of course. So hopefully everything that goes out is something that we hope it's going to be the right beer in the right moment for the right person.
Yeah, we got a question about YALL from @thebeercast on Twitter, which I'm going to come on to. But I was wondering, what's been your go-to during lockdown? The idea that it's been different beers for different situations, but obviously everyone's been spending a lot more time at home, and you have as well. Yeah. Have you had a go-to during this period?
I've been drinking. I've been using lockdown a bit as an opportunity to clean up the beer cellar. So I've you know what it's like over the years. I think probably like everyone, you accumulate lots of different bottles from lots of different breweries. So I've been drinking very eclectically during the lockdown. But probably more than anything else, I've probably been actually big bottles of Hurricane Jack and cans of Workbench. But then yesterday, I was sitting out in the garden having a barbecue. A big 5-litre mini keg of Fyne lager just hit the spot as well. But I'm going to guess perhaps more Hurricane Jack than anything else over the lockdown.
Cool. So we'll come back around to the Beercast question from Twitter, who asks, did you realise that YALL would become all-conquering when it was first brewed, in a range that already contained great beers such as Hurricane Jack and Avalanche?
Yeah, no, I have to say we absolutely didn't. I sometimes go back and wonder whether we actually would have chosen the name YALL if we'd known it was going to become something all-conquering, a name that's sort of hard for everyone to pronounce. But no, at the time, we were very much, our philosophy was, and really to a degree still remains, brew beers that we wanted to drink, that we were going to be proud of, and then if all of our customers enjoyed it, we'd keep brewing it and we'd brew more of it. And YALL absolutely was brewed in that frame of mind. It was like, okay, Citra's out there. Citra just literally arrived in the country. We've heard it's a really good hop. we'll get some of the first batch over here and we'll try it and we'll just give it a go and see what works. And at the time it was meant to be just like a one-off special, just as an experimental beer to see how that hop would work. But we had so much demand for it that we were rapidly into sort of a second, then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth batch, and it's pretty much been and I think we first brewed it about this time of year.
Yeah, it was a Fyne Fest special.
It was a special for the second Fyne Fest, wasn't it? Second ever Fyne Fest. So it would have been released in around about July, and we've probably been out of stock of it for like 3 or 4 months since that first brew. I mean, it's just sort of people kept asking for it, so we kept on brewing it, and we love it. So
yeah. So he did ask a follow-up question. He said, was it a challenge to adapt to YALL becoming the de facto flagship beer of the brewery?
Like I say, I think at the time we were very much not trying to have a flagship beer, and I still think I'm not particularly, I'm not. We were never the brewery that was looking to find our one particular beer and that was going to be it, because that sort of isn't really to me the essence of what craft beer is all about. Craft beer is about a degree of experimentation and development. So I don't think we've ever looked to particularly create YALL as a flagship beer. It's much more that everyone out there, everyone that enjoys drinking it, has kept on drinking it, kept on coming back to it, and so that has led to it organically becoming a flagship beer. So I'd say the one moment where it's actually caused some real adaptation in the brewery is probably about 5 years ago when we built the new brewery. And at that stage, YALL was really working well for us. So the whole focus was, right, well, okay, if we're going to spend sort of £2-3 million on building a new brewery, then what are the decisions to be made to brew the best pint of YALL we can possibly make? And so everything about the new brewery was really designed with this sort of modern hop-forward take on a British beer, which really YALL is the epitome of. So every single engineering decision at that point was engineered around what is going to produce the best example of those kind of styles, particularly YALL. But what's good for YALL feeds out. It's good for Hurricane Jack. It's good for Avalanche, and then for some of our specials like the Everyone Loves series that we've been doing as cask specials and on mini casks. And now some of what we're trying to do on classic IPAs. It's all about how do we express hop flavour brilliantly on the British style of brewing.
And that's something we've always tried to do. So that's the brew kit's been pretty handy for that. And obviously YALL is turning 10 this year.
It is.
And we're planning to do a little bit of something for YALL's birthday. I don't know. Do you want to touch on that now? Or?
Yeah, I suppose so. Should we say this is the big reveal?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So we've I think we're going to we're putting YALL into 440ml cans for the first time, or into cans for the first time. We've decided that YALL's being a very sessionable beer, probably belongs in more of a 440, whereas some of our IPAs are more 330ml products. So we're going to try and put it into can for the first time. So fundamentally the beer should be pretty much the same as the previous beer. We're trying to give it a little bit of an extra hop kick, just to give it a little bit of extra lift to go into cans. But we're really excited, and the beers are in tank at the moment, and it's tasting great. And I think it's off to get packaged this week. So hopefully, sort of a couple of weeks' time, we should have some really nice cans of YALL out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan is to get the pre-orders on as soon as we can, really. And it's YALL in cans.
Yes,
cannot wait.
No, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think that's immediately going to become my lockdown beer.
Yes, exactly.
Just as lockdown eases up.
Yeah. But then we should probably talk about its big brother as well.
Yes.
If we're doing the big reveal as well, we've also got Ragnarok coming out in 440ml cans as well. Ragnarok is, it started out life as sort of a straight double YALL. We've tweaked the recipe a little bit, so it's maybe not just quite as linear as that now. But the central concept is basically YALL's big brother. And we've been loving it. The bottles have been really well received, but we thought we'd try that in a 440ml can as well. So coming up shortly, part of YALL's 10th birthday, we should be having YALL and YALL's big brother, both available for your fridges.
Excellent. Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So keep an eye out for that. We'll have some news on social media and in the newsletter. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We're just putting the final details when we can get the cans out to you. But pre-orders soon and on sale hopefully just after.
And that's all assuming that everything goes perfectly and the beer tastes exactly the way we want it to.
Which it will, of course. Which it will. Anyway, we've got some actual some more questions from our community here, so we'll carry on with those. we had a couple of questions from different people, both asking to bring back different beers that we've brewed in the past, but maybe have fallen into a seasonal rotation, or maybe just fallen off the brew sheet completely. Mike on Facebook and at CitySailingCom on Twitter called for the return of Piper's Gold in bottles and just any Sander Black because it's the best ever.
Yeah.
Any plans to bring back either of those beers or any other beers from our back catalogue?
Yeah. It's funny actually thinking about it. I think those are probably the two beers from the back catalogue that we do get asked about most often. So both are absolutely valid. Piper's Gold is an interesting one. Every time we bring it back, it really works for a section of the audience. But it is that sort of British hopped golden ale compared to a YALL, which is very much the American hop pale ale. And I think we've always struggled a little bit when people are going to it expecting another YALL, and it's not another YALL. So it's one I'm cautious about. We've been doing it about once a year, and probably that's about where it'll sit. It's probably sort of a one-off, once a year special. Sander Black IPAs are absolutely one of my favourite styles. I think so. I definitely would like to see us doing more black IPAs. I think it's a style of beer, particularly with grilled food, with a barbecue. A black IPA, you can really get the hop notes right and the toasted notes down. It really works well. I think we probably always want to do better, so I'm not sure we'd necessarily go back to Sander Black. I think we'd probably take the idea of Sander Black and move it forwards. But yes, no, absolutely. I think that I'll be very disappointed if we don't have some more black IPAs in the programme over the next year or two.
Yes, I think it's on the list definitely for something that we want to look at once kind of a degree of normality has returned.
Exactly that. I think things that work in lockdown are slightly different to what will hopefully work when we get back to normal life.
Yes, yeah. And, Andy from Elusive, if you're watching this, that collab is still on the cards for one day. Andy's a big champion of the hashtag Bipper comeback. So,